So in the last few years, sim racing has become absolutely massive, with esports going into Formula One territory now. But the question I want to help you answer is, can I do this on a budget? Yes or no? The answer is yes, and I'm going to show you how. So first and foremost, before even thinking about what steering wheel and what pedal you should get, you need to know what console you're playing on. The three main ones, you've got the Xbox, the PlayStation, and the PC. So personally, I do play on the PC. It just gives you a few more options of which sims you can actually play. It's worth noting though, you don't need a state-of-the-art gaming rig if you're going to play anything. A lot of modern laptops with the built-in graphics processors, they can handle these sims just fine. But if you are concerned about if you can or can't play it, you can download them via Steam. And if it doesn't run, you can just get a refund. It's not the end of the world. As for monitors and screens and whatnot, if you've got a console, you've already got a TV. If you've got a PC, you've already got a screen. If you've got a laptop, you've already got a screen. Don't bother spending money on anything just yet whilst you're just getting into it on a budget. Use what you've got. I personally only have like a small 24-inch screen. It's the cheapest one I could find at the time. So now we've got what you're playing on out the way, we're going to go through some of the simulators you can play, and there is a bucket load of them. So for this instance, we're going to go through the top 3 that I've personally played and can give you some actual relevant feedback for. So the first one on the list is called iRacing. It's one of the most recommended ones out there, but there are some drawbacks. But let's talk about the pros first. Highly realistic physics and car handling, regular updates and content additions, strong online community with competitive racing and official esports events, and a lot of detailed telemetry to help you with your driving. However, some of the drawbacks, it's a subscription-based model. It costs around the $10 a month or $13 if you're in the US. It doesn't require a high-end PC, but for the best experience, you will need one. And there is a steep learning curve for beginners. So the next one on the list is available on Xbox and PC, which is Forza Motorsport. The pros for that, extremely gorgeous graphics. It looks incredible. A huge selection of cars and customization options, easily accessible for new sim racers, and by that I mean it's got loads of assists that you can use and loads of difficulty settings should you need it. And the fourth one, as I've already mentioned, it's available on Xbox and PC, and it has crossplay, which is fantastic, which means you'll always have somebody to race against. The cons of that, it's a lot less realistic compared to other dedicated sims. It is limited to Microsoft platforms, so you can't play it on your PlayStation, and if you're more of a hardcore sim racer and you like the realism, it can feel a bit too arcadey. Jumping into the third one is Assetto Corsa, which is my personal favourite and the one I've spent the most time in since I've started sim racing in general. It's the only one out of the 3 that I've listed you can play on PS5, Xbox and PC. So if you're watching this part of the video and you're going onto Steam or the PlayStation or whatever and it's not on sale, wait for it to go on sale. It goes down by like 75% most of the time. You can get it for cheaper than you can get a chicken nugget Happy Meal. It's fantastic. So, what are the pros here? The mod support is unreal. If you can think it, there's a mod for it. Realistic physics and car handling. The car you use in the game mimics real life as close as possible. There's a wide variety of cars and tracks. A lot of them you can get for free or you can get them on sale. The other pro is that it's a one-time purchase. There's no subscriptions or anything for it. Now the cons for Assetto, there's not a massive list, but there are still some drawbacks. Because it's quite a dated game, the graphics aren't as polished as some newer titles. That doesn't personally bother me, but it may you. Who knows? There are limited content updates now because the game's quite old. And the other con is, because it is quite dated now, I would recommend looking into the realm of mods once you've gotten used to the game, and it can just enhance your experience a lot, but that does require some of your own research. Out of those 3 I've listed, they've all got pros and cons, and there are a hell of a lot more simulators out there like Gran Turismo, Formula One, etc. So if you personally have any suggestions for games, drop them down below, let other people know about them, and you may have some future competitors there. So although you can play these with a controller, that's not what sim racing's about. We want to talk about the wheels. So I'll go through the budget options for you. So you've got the Logitech G29 or G920. The pros, high quality build, responsive force feedback, and you got the pedals included. The main cons for that wheel, the force feedback could be better, and there's no load cell brake pedal. Basically means it doesn't feel like a real pedal. The second one on that list is the Thrustmaster T150 or the TMX, depending on which platform you're on. The pros, decent force feedback, good quality build, and wide compatibility. The cons, you've got the basic pedals, and it feels a bit cheap overall. Third on the list is the Hori Racing Wheel Apex. The pros being it's quite affordable, it's fairly adjustable with the sensitivity, and it's quite compact. The cons being and limited force feedback and basic build quality, but I personally have had no experience with that wheel. So if you have, again, drop it down below, let people know about it. And fourth on the list is the wheel I use, which is the Logitech G923. It's a more upgraded version of the G920. It's got something called True Force, which improves how it feels. It makes it feel a bit more realistic. And the pedals are significantly better. Like the brake pedals loaded cell, so you can actually, it mimics a real car. So the major downside of this wheel, because of the True Force, to make it feel more realistic, it's significantly louder. So if that's an issue in your household, take caution there. So if you can't afford a brand new wheel, I completely understand that. The best place, in my personal opinion, Facebook Marketplace, an absolute beast of a tool looking for things secondhand. Like the wheel I've got here, for example, the G923. I bought for about 300 quid brand new. Secondhand on Marketplace, you can get it for about 100 quid or less depending on the person. My main recommendation on Marketplace and getting a used wheel is either test it yourself before you buy it, or at least get some kind of good video to prove it works as intended. You don't want to end up buying a dud wheel when you get home, you've spent all that money, you plug it in, it doesn't work, and everybody's sad. So do some due diligence yourself and make sure it works as intended. As for wheel stands, use what you can. If you've got a table you can move, use that. If you've got a desk already where your PC is and it can fit the wheel, use that. If you're on a console and you're in your lounge, for example, where your TV is, you can get like adjustable wheel stands that collapse as well, so you can store them better. Or go to IKEA, you can get a really small Linmon table with like 4 legs for less than 20 quid, I think. That's what I currently use now. So overall, you can get into sim racing for under 100 quid if you look on Marketplace for like a used wheel. Some people even do like a wheel stand combo, which is fantastic, and you can get the little gear shifter as well. You can get a Assetto Corsa for under a fiver most of the time. So like, my recommendation is if you're just starting out, you've never done it before, get a second-hand wheel, get a Assetto Corsa, and just get on the track. Learn how to drive in a sim racing environment, and once you get more into it and you want to start upgrading things, then look into your new wheel, your bigger screens, etc., and make it more of a fun experience. Don't drop 500 quid on it and then find out you don't like it, because that's probably where all of those wheels on Marketplace have come from. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful on getting into sim racing on a budget. It is super fun, and hopefully I'll see you on the track soon.